from the Bay Area's news station, this is the KRON 4 Morning News.
So I have worked this out, this thing about body language. Now you'll notice I am intensely looking at you. I am trying, and leaning my body, I'm trying to include you and our next guest, Carol Goman, who we love having on. She is the nonverbal advantage expert, more the... See, body language. Watch this. There. See, it worked like a charm. She is the expert on body language, and she has some fascinating insights on an area that most of us don't really think about very much, which is excluding people and how much that can hurt and how you can avoid doing it.
Yeah, they did some research at UCLA, which was really fun. They brought a subject into the room, and they said, here's your screen. You're going to play an internet game of catch with two other people in two other rooms that have their screen. So on the screen, you'd see a little avatar, which would be you. And you start to play this game of catch with the two other people. Pretty soon, halfway through the game, you notice that these two other people are only playing with each other, and you've been excluded. Well, that was set up in order to make someone feel excluded so they could look at your brain to see what happens when you have those feelings.
They're using like an MRI here.
A functional,
fMRI,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, a functional MRI. And they took a look at the brain and they found some interesting things. Number one is it took very little to make people feel excluded. Even when the subject found out that there were no two other people, it was just a software program in the computer, that person still felt like it was something that they did wrong. It was personal. Second, they found that the same part of the brain that's activated when you exclude someone is the part of the brain that's activated with the physical suffering part of pain.
Wow.
So, if you break my arm or you break my heart, I have the same reaction, at least in my brain.
And you get the same, basically, chemical cascade in the brain that says, oh, you're hurting.
And both of those kinds of suffering respond to Tylenol.
Wow, so you're for excluded?
Yep.
Take an aspirin and call me in the morning.
There you go.
Wow. So, oh, and in fact, one thing I should tell you about this study is that then they reveal it was actually a computer that was doing it, not people. Still hurt.
Exactly,
Go
it still
figure.
hurt.
Okay.
So it's fast.
Yes.
It happens quickly, and it's very much tied into nonverbal behavior, which is how I got involved in the study when I was researching a new book that I'm writing. So what I found was...
Coming soon to a bookstore near you.
Yes, right, April. What I found was that when you include people, that is, you give them eye contact, you lean forward, you use open-handed and arm gestures, versus excluding people where you cross your arms, you look away, you look down at your notes or your BlackBerry or your whatever. You cross your legs, you lean back.
Crossing legs is not good.
Well,
Leaning back
it can
makes me think like, hey, I'm so relaxed with you, I can just sit here.
It can be, but what if you do this and, you know,
in
the history of sales, no one's ever made a sale to somebody that had their arms and legs crossed. So there is a bit of resistance tied in with that.
So but this has to do with something like in a family or team building or, you know, working with people where you can inadvertently, I mean, there are people out there you really do want to exclude, but you shouldn't.
Well, let's say that you and Isabel and Marty and I are on a team. And I'm going to lead this team.
What?
Well, there's a disaster
Marty's complaining, Isabel. You come to the wrong place for leaders. There are too many of us.
Well, I'm going to be the leader.
Okay.
And you're going to be on my team. But every time you and Isabel speak, I give you those inclusive signals. When Marty speaks... Sorry, Marty. When Marty speaks, I start doing some of the exclusionary stuff.
Oh, we do that to him all the time.
Then he needs the Tylenol.
But so the point is, in a team, it hurts people and it hurts your team.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Thank you very much, Carol Goman. Her current book is called The Nonverbal Advantage. The book coming soon to a bookstore near you is The Silent Language of Leaders.
Yes.
Say that 5 times fast. Thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
When we come back, we're going to be talking to you about the safety of what you're eating, how to eat better, eat smarter, coming up on KRON 4 News Weekend.